I'd like to ask a question. I'm delighted you're doing strategic planning, but it has to look at the near term and the past. Energy. We know that in the 70s, much of the new building of the town was electrically powered. It is an enormous problem here in the village because of the electric heating. I would like to, many small towns already have solar panel arrays up. I can name some of them. Some small towns have energy committees or commissions. I would like to hear both of your thoughts about long-term and near-term policy and thinking about energy in this town.
Well, kind of a timely question because this week we issued our position paper on preserving the natural environment, and where I specifically said we should establish an energy commission that would be not just the town hall of Southbury, but should include people, representation from Region 15, Heritage Village, and other entities here within Southbury, to look at how we can take better advantage of grants and programs that are being established. Some of you might be aware of recent legislation signed early July by the state of Connecticut to create a number of incentives for municipalities to start to look more aggressively at energy conservation, as well as renewable and other alternative energy supplies. Some people might say, well, how did that fit into a paper on preserving the natural environment? And as I mentioned in there, I've spent most of my career, going back to 1975, studying and developing policies in the area of energy and in the environment. They are tightly tied together. And so the quality of our environment is very much dependent on our energy supply, our energy security, and vice versa. So I think it is something we can be more aggressive. I would encourage all of you, if you'd like, to come up in Litchfield, October 18th. The new commissioner of the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection will be coming there to speak to the Northwest Conservation District, which we as Southbury are a part of, to talk about this new energy bill and what it means for small towns like Southbury. We need to take advantage of that. We didn't take advantage years ago when the same type of thing was offered. We could have gotten free solar panels, but we didn't take advantage of that. This is grant money that's available. I realize sometimes it's difficult to get all the paperwork in, but we've got to be good about that. We're sitting now with a grant of $180,000 that's targeted for Southbury's environment, Valentine Park, right down here by the one-way bridge, and we missed this deadline for this year. So that work to restore or to address the erosion problem there got deferred and delayed. That's real work for somebody, and that would have been positive environmental improvement. Grants are a tough thing. I think some people here in the village pointed that out back in, they did a long-range plan in the late 90s. We need to be more professional about our grant procedures and our grant writing in town. It's part of the game. It's part of how running a small town has become much more demanding or require much more professionalization in the way it's done. And we need to get on board with that. Thank you.
Valentine Park, by the way, is down by Heritage Road. It's Ewald Park. It's down by the one-way bridge. I cringed the other day when I saw that Governor Malloy had taken the op fuel money, which had been cut by the federal government to the state of Connecticut, and said that the op fuel money would only be used for fossil fuels such as propane and oil rather than electric heating. I know most of you heat with electricity, and basically what he said is you will not be getting help with your electric bill this winter because Connecticut Light and Power, it's against the law for them to turn your power off during the winter. So that means in May, when the bill comes due, for those that haven't paid their bill, they're going to get a bill for $8,000 or $9,000 maybe, who knows, and they're going to be required to pay that. So I got right on the phone with Rob Payne, our state senator, and our two representatives, Labriola and O'Neill, and told them I would like to partner with them to try and do something to get this reinstalled. That's going to be a real hardship on people who heat with electricity. Frida and I have talked often about electricity rates and how we can get a handle on them. The unfortunate thing is that Heritage Village is not a municipality. It is a private enterprise, and they are prevented from joining consortiums where you could buy fuel or electricity in groups with other people. So it's a bit of a difficult problem, but we're still working on it and we're still talking.
Thank you. My question is for Mr. Davis. By the way, I am John Norris. I'm the chair of Concerned Taxpayers of Southbury for the past 3 years, and I've been watching town affairs very closely. And I'd like to ask Mr. Davis, I'm also a candidate for First Selectman. I'd like to ask Mr. Davis the same question I asked him Thursday night, to which he promised a response, and I've emailed him a couple times and have still not received an answer. Over the past 2 years, our Public Works Department has returned over $1 million in road construction funds that went unspent. And the Board of Finance has returned it to the general fund. Mr. Crow and the Public Works Department has been given another $1.2 million. This is road construction, not paving. Has been given another $1.2 million for road construction for this fiscal year, which runs from July 1st to June 30th. I think we all know road building cannot take place when the ground is frozen. It's late September, and I'm curious, the newspaper reported that less than $20,000 had been spent on road construction to date. Can you tell me what percentage of that $1.2 million has been spent, will be spent? And really more specifically, so as Ed too, what sort of oversight do you expect to exercise over the Public Works Department to get these jobs done? Because we got plenty of money to do it, the work just is not getting done.
Well, Mr. Norris, it's your opinion that the work is not getting done. I have asked the town treasurer to come up with those numbers. Significant amounts of money have been spent. I'm not going to give you dollar figures right now because we're still trying to nail them down. Much of the road construction budget is for engineering designs, for plans, and drainage calculations and engineering fees, rather than the actual rebuilding of roads. We have rebuilt 8 or 9 roads this summer so far. The construction still has September, October, and half of November to go. Much of our construction is done in the spring. We wait till after the damage from the winter has been done. There's lots of recurbing to do from the plowing operations, and roads take a beating during the winter. So I do not know, and I told you I would get you those numbers, sir, and I will when they're available.
I just want to answer John's point, which is one of the reasons let's say I got up off the couch and decided to run was because of my concern about management oversight in Town Hall. As a member of the Board of Finance, as well as somebody who reads the paper, I found myself scratching my head. We, as Board of Finance, typically ask questions of staff, and next month would come by and we would not get answers. We wouldn't get answers, or sometimes we got answers to a different question. And I just don't understand that. All I can say, I hate to just stand here and promise you that I'll do better, because anybody could say that. The only other thing I can offer you is 23 years of corporate experience where I had to oversee teams of people, departments, organizations of varying sizes to get their work done. I was responsible for cost budgets, I was responsible for capital budgets, and I know how difficult that is, but it really requires being there every day on top of people to make sure they are clear about what they're being asked to do, and then being clear that you are there to see that it got done. That's the way the game is called, management.
All right, let me conclude the meeting.
No. I promised this lady here that
Okay.
should get a chance.
Gentlemen, you see in front of you 400 residents of the village, and yet I have not heard one word about either one of you doing something for the village. Our roads are breaking down, our sidewalks are breaking down, we don't have a movie in the village, we don't have a bus that takes you to shopping unless you have a schedule of this. What are you going to do for the village? We vote, we pay taxes, what are we going to do for the village?
The village is a private entity. You are responsible for your own roads, for your own sidewalks by law. The town cannot come in and do that no more than they go to my house and pave my driveway or fix my roof or cut my grass. I'm sorry, that's just the nature of the beast. The South Parade offers many services to the residents of Heritage Village. We offer police protection, fire protection. We offer our social services programs. We have the senior center, which you have to go to. We have Dial-A-Ride, where for bus service you can call up and schedule a bus ride into Waterbury or even New Haven to doctor's appointments. Or now we have a new ride which is funded by the government, and we have received a new bus to do that, where you can spend, for I think it's $1 or $2, you can call up and dial a ride and go to Waterbury to the shopping mall, shopping, and they'll pick you up in 2 hours and bring you home. So that is a new service that we've installed. We have given, when we get a grant for a new bus, a senior bus, we have sold our old bus to the Heritage Village Master Association for $1. And then you're responsible for supplying the drivers and the insurance and the gasoline. I think you have 3 buses over here. Why they're not utilized for your use is a Heritage Village problem, not a town problem.
Let's see, I think I just would want to reiterate the kind of government I would like to, or the kind of leader I would like to be, which is a collaborative one. And that is to say we need to have ongoing discussions, specifically a committee of the Heritage Village, town government, and maybe some of the other senior centers or senior facilities we have in town to talk about how we can share ideas, share resources, and hopefully come up with better ways of doing things. I can't disagree with Bill's point about private property. That is just a reality. But I would point out that we've got to do a little bit better as a community. Everyone here knows that we are in the midst of a great recession that is going on. And despite what economists are telling us that maybe we're out of this recession, not many of us are feeling that way. And our 401k plans are not telling us that. Our retirement portfolios are not telling us that. I've talked to several religious leaders who are telling me, you know, Ed, I have trouble finding time to write a sermon because I am doing so much more personal counseling now than I've ever done before because people are on such hard times for economic reasons. This affects everybody. And that's, I think, sort of at the base of your question, is Heritage Village is feeling this pain, but it's happening throughout Southbury. And so rather than everybody kind of saying, what are you going to do for me? We've got to start saying, what are we all going to do for us? And start to be one community. And I think the right kind of leadership can make that happen a lot more appropriately. Thank you.
I want to thank each and every one of you for coming. The turnout was terrific, and your interest is terrific, and the CRC thanks you. You can stay for our meeting afterwards. We don't close the doors on anybody, but we'll have a 5-minute break, and then we'll proceed to our meeting afterwards. Thank you very much.